What's up, Gooners? Arsenal now want to sign a player who Man United sold for just £7 million. Could this be Andrea Berta's smartest move yet? Meanwhile, we're targeting a winger who already embarrassed Ricardo Calafiori. Roy Keane left shaking his head after hearing what Ian Wright said about Martin Odegaard. And Kai Havertz could be Arsenal's biggest downfall this season. But first, click the subscribe button because we bring you Arsenal news every single day. And without further delay, let's get into today's top stories. Gooners, Arsenal may be fully focused on winning the Premier League and Champions League, but plans for the summer are already underway. The Gunners are expected to strengthen in multiple positions despite their heavy spending spree last year. Andrea Berta is working hard behind the scenes to identify the right profiles. Defence is one area that could see changes, particularly with uncertainty around the futures of a few Arsenal players. The latest name to come out of the rumour mill is Alvaro Carreras of Real Madrid. Here's why this story is fascinating, and this is absolutely critical. Alvaro Carreras has had a very interesting career path so far. The Spanish defender spent close to 4 years at Manchester United, but never made a single senior appearance for the club. During that time, he was sent out on loan multiple times to gain experience, and he did show a lot of promise. However, he was sold to Benfica in 2024 for a relatively modest fee of around £7.8 million. Carreras impressed in Portugal and quickly caught the attention of some of Europe's biggest clubs. Just a year later, Real Madrid decided to bring him in for a significantly higher fee, believed to be around £43 million. However, despite only recently joining the Spanish Giants, he could already be on the move again this summer. According to Kerim on X, Arsenal are among the clubs pushing for his signature. Manchester United, Juventus and Napoli are also said to be monitoring the situation. The journalist claims that Mikel Arteta is prepared to offer Carreras a bigger role if he makes the switch to North London, which could be a key factor in any potential deal. It will be interesting to see what Real Madrid will demand for the defender after investing a decent amount of money in him less than a year ago. If Arsenal are seriously considering a move for Carreras, it suggests that changes are coming in the left-back position. Miles Lewis-Skelly is one player whose future looks uncertain. He has struggled for game time this season and could be a strong candidate to leave. Ricardo Calafiori is another name to watch, particularly due to his ongoing injury issues. Availability has been a concern, which may force Arsenal to look at alternatives. Bringing in Carreras would likely mean at least one departure, if not two. That is the only way the squad balance would make sense. Should Arsenal sign Carreras for likely £50 million plus? Comment yes or no. Speaking of Calafiori, there's a winger who already embarrassed him. Gooners, Arsenal are now among the clubs keen on Bayer Leverkusen winger Kerim Albeovic, who is enjoying a great season on loan at Red Bull Salzburg. Albeovic is very highly rated around Europe. And the Gunners are not the only club keen on the teenage winger. The 18-year-old has already broken into the Bosnia and Herzegovina national team, and he is set to head to the World Cup with them after knocking out Italy. Ricardo Calafiori will already know the winger well, having faced him during the World Cup playoff match, and can give Andrea Berta a glowing review. According to Marco Barzaghi, here's what's happening with Arsenal's interest, and this is absolutely critical. Arsenal are keen on young Bosnian winger Kerim Albeovic. Roma, Inter Milan, Napoli and Borussia Dortmund are also keen on the teenager. Roma are believed to be leading the race to sign the youngster and have already held talks with his agent. But with Arsenal looking at wingers for the summer, the Bosnian international could suddenly become a target. Speaking about the wingers' situation, Barzaghi said, "An interesting name also being linked with Inter is Albeovic. He's 1.86 meters tall, plays on the left. We unfortunately saw him with Bosnia against Italy. He's just 18 years old, born in 2007. He's a left winger who can burst forward, shoot and provide assists. Only 18, very interesting, though still raw." One player who already knows Albeovic very well is Calafiori, who struggled against the youngster during World Cup qualifying. Albeovic played 74 minutes in Bosnia's win over Italy after replacing former Gunner Sead Kolasinac at half-time. The winger had a great game with a 7.6 match rating on SofaScore. After recording 3 shots, 2 key passes, completing 44 passes, and a ridiculous 52 carries. Calafiori had a nightmare evening at centre-back, although he was not helped by Alessandro Bastoni being shown a red card. Should Arsenal sign the winger who embarrassed Calafiori? Comment yes or no. Now, Roy Keane had some strong opinions about one of our players. Gooner's Martin Odegaard remains one of the most important players at Arsenal, but not everyone is convinced. The Norwegian has struggled with multiple injuries this campaign, which has disrupted his rhythm and consistency. Due to that, his performances have not been at the level fans have come to expect. That has led to pundits criticising Odegaard, with questions being raised about his overall impact in this Arsenal side. Roy Keane appears to be one of those who is not fully convinced by the Gunners' skipper. Martin Odegaard made his long-awaited return from injury in Arsenal's game against Manchester City last Sunday. The former Real Madrid man looked very good for large parts of the game and should have even got an assist. It was a really promising display. Ian Wright defended the Arsenal captain and highlighted his importance, especially when paired with creative players like Eberechi Eze. Gary Neville also agreed with that view and praised Odegaard's performance at the Etihad. However, Keane had a completely different opinion and made his feelings very clear during the discussion on the latest episode of the Stick to Football podcast. Listen to what happened. Keane said, "I still don't think Odegaard does enough. He's neat and tidy and he's good, but..." Wright responded, "But the thing is, he's busy for us." "He did well, Roy. I thought he was all right for us." Neville added, "I thought he played well." Keane then shut his eyes, shook his head and said no. That reaction summed up his stance. The Premier League legend is simply not convinced by Odegaard. While Keane has his doubts, Wright and Neville's assessment feels closer to reality. Odegaard actually had a good game against Manchester City, especially considering it was his first outing back from injury. As he gets more minutes under his belt, there is every chance he will return to his best. And when he does, Arsenal will become a completely different team. Odegaard is the most creative player in the squad and the one who makes everything tick in the final third. If he hits top form in the final games of the season, he could be the player who makes the difference in the title race against Manchester City. Do you agree with Roy Keane or Ian Wright on Odegaard? Comment Keane or Wrighty. Finally, Ian Wright has concerns about another player. Gooners, this is brutal, but Ian Wright is absolutely right. Kai Havertz missed two huge chances to score Arsenal's second goal against Man City at the weekend, and Ian Wright thinks an out-and-out striker would have put them both away. The German attacker netted Arsenal's first through brilliant pressing from the front. However, he also spurned two massive opportunities where perhaps a proper number 9 could have buried them. Listen to what Ian Wright said on the overlap. "It was a fantastic chance. To the point where it came over, I'm thinking there's only one outcome. So when he missed it, you think, well, that's that. And we have to look at the fact that our striker, who we bought to try and take those chances, he's not even on the pitch, right?" Wright continued, "Maybe if he was on the pitch as a natural striker, he would realise, right, I got to make sure this ball's coming in here. But Kai, we know he's not an out-and-out striker." Then came the comparison. Now you can look at it and start analysing, because if that was an out-and-out striker, I think he scores that, and I think he scores the one where he goes through and the goalie saves it. Havertz offers this Arsenal team so much in terms of work rate and link-up. However, his ability in front of goal could cost Arsenal the title. In a game of such fine margins, when the stakes are so high, Arsenal simply cannot afford for their number 9 to be so wasteful. Do you agree Havertz's finishing could cost us the title? Comment agree or disagree. That's it for today, Gooners. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and hit subscribe for Arsenal news every single day. And drop a comment letting me know, where are you watching from? London? Kenya? USA? Let's see how global this Arsenal family is. Come on, you Gunners.